So the markets will be open up here in about 32 minutes. Yesterday we had a nice little range. I liked it yesterday. Yesterday we traded big, but it was in a tight range for the day. Today we'll see if we can break through that range down at these lows, or we can come up to these highs or break the highs. We'll see if we range again today. It's only Friday, so we might have a big day on a Friday, or we could chill on a Friday. But I'm already in a trade. But I'm gonna try to explain it. But I'm probably gonna close out soon. But so news that came out here at 8:30, 8:30, 8 o'clock gave us a nice bearish candle right at the top. This is what we wanted to see. Then news came out. We waited the first minute for the spike up. You know, we didn't know where it's gonna spike, so it spiked up. We then had put in some sell stops right here. And had gotten some sales on the flip of the 30-minute because the 30-minute closed bearish. Now we are in a nice profit taking zone, 40 points. We are at our first bit of resistance, and for this reason I've already moved stops to break even. I could close out right now and take some nice profits, but I'm trying to play the bigger picture. And to me, we have this trend line here that we've been creating all day. Already over pre-night, we're already up 1% because we just been riding this trend line up all night. And so right now, that's our first bit of resistance that we got to deal with. We are dealing with at the moment. We already came down and touched it. That could have been my take profit. You know, I'm a scalper. That was a good scalp, 40 points. But I'm trying to, like, as you see, the days are moving big, but I continue to catch tiny moves compared to what the day actually be given. And yeah, this move is nice profits, nice percentage and whatnot. I'm trying to see if I can catch a bigger chunk of it because we got all this to fill. But at the moment, we're at a bit of resistance. We also got this support right here that we bounced off of around 6:30, and we're closing exactly at it. The hourly, thankfully, hourly closed bearish, so that means 9 o'clock should fall, but we closed bearish right here at this neckline, and that's kind of a bullish thing. Like, this candle closed bearish, but it was right at the neckline, and as you see, it then continued higher. So this is really our last chance right here. I might hold on, I gotta continue to go through it for a second. We got a bearish closure, but we closed bullish, and we're holding the trend line, so that's two signs against us at the moment. The hourly closed bearish, so that's with the program. 30-minute closed bearish with the program, but at the same time it closed at the resistance right here. This 1 minute is currently setting up this little trend line. It would be great if it breaks, but it's looking like we might be going into giving up some profits here in a second. If this 30-minute does decide to flip, it's gonna be bullish, and if it flips, it might run back up to the highs. That's why I'm considering taking profits right now, but there's a high chance we do fall. So I'm trying to give it a second. You know what? That's actually what I'm going to do. I'm actually rather than closing out the position or just holding it to break even, we're going to move stops and the profits. And that's the smartest decision we can make right now. We see a bit of resistance we got going on. We see the trade starting to kind of work against us. So now we're just going to move our stops and the profits. If this 30-minute flips, that's a bullish sign. It's not bullish enough for me to buy off of, Stops have to be below the lows. Actually, that's kind of bullish. That is actually a very bullish thing. We can actually kind of get in buys off of that. That's crazy. But that's only 15 minute. 15 minute. When the 15 minutes kind of working with us, but is working against the higher time frames, that's not great. Because the 30 minutes bearish, hourly's bearish. But like we said, we are at this little support. So this actually, that's why we move stops above the highs. If this thing flips, that's bullish, but not bullish enough for us to buy. But it is actually some good buys off the trend line. Stops below the lows. We're not gonna take this trade. Hopefully our trade works out, but we're not taking that one. I'm just gonna take profits there because I mean we gotta follow the rules. The rules are if we see the trade working against us, I mean we got to, and yeah, I mean I could just held stops here, but I would rather lock in 38 points rather than 25. And we're right here at this resistance. It's a good TP1. There is potentials, but the reason I had exit out rather than holding the stops is because this 30 minute, it don't got a top wick, and we most likely will be flipping on this candle, and when we do, that would have just hit stops regardless. But if this thing closes underneath here, then we just get in sales again. If it closes underneath, that'd be very bearish. We can just sell it again. Hopefully if it does close underneath, the top wick that that candle gives us goes up and break these highs, and then reflips and then comes down. That'd be a great trade. But I'm gonna let the trade continue to run on the demo account because I actually had better entries on the demo account because I was trying something different. This hourly candle, like I said, when candles don't have top wicks, the market tends to come back to them to give it one. And I seen that this hourly, both of these hourlies right here, don't have a top wick, and I felt the market was going to come back and give it one just to come right back down. So I was in sales earlier about, I don't know, one of these trades back here. I got in some sales and we got some nice profits on it. Actually, we took a loser on one and then we profited on the second one. And then I had put sell stops in if the market comes back up and break these highs. My stop loss is going to be above these previous highs right here. I want the market to break these highs but not break this high. So it was tight stops, 26 points, tight stops, good. And that would actually turned out to be a great entry. I would have been up 50 points. But that was a very risky entry, but it was a good one. So I'm gonna let this trade continue to run. I'm actually going to move stops here to break even on this one, and we'll see how this trade would have played out if we would have just kept our stops at break even rather than closing out full. But I really feel like this thing is definitely going to flip. This thing is looking very bearish, but at the same time very bullish. I'm actually going to put a buy stop on the demo account because I like these buys. I like these buys. They're looking good, but just not good enough for me to actually risk my money on. So if this 30-minute does flip, what would happen is our sales that we are in from up here will be closed out into profit, 40-point profit. That's great profits, great trade. And then we will then simultaneously be put into a long position, and our stops will be underneath these lows right here. And then we'll be looking to target back to the highs. It's only a 35. Well, really, yeah, see, it's a small range. That's why I don't really like it like that. Also, this is also a tiny range. I mean, not tiny, but it's only 36 points. But if you're playing it for the bigger picture, because I do kind of feel like the market isn't ready to drop today like I want it to drop. I feel like the market wants to grab something up here. So the market might, trickle up this trend line all the way to up here, spike up here, and then end up falling off of that. Kind of something like we did yesterday. The market did end up dropping yesterday. We was in on these trades. Unfortunately, we folded our hand. Took out the profits right there and missed out on the actual bigger move down. That's what we trying to catch, was what we was trying to catch today. We also closed our hand out today. But then the market ended up reversing, coming all the way back up to grab some orders up here. And then it decided to come right back down. But now we came back down to these orders, and now it's going right back up. So we're in a rangy market. I love to see it. Love to see when we range. There's a lot more trade setups when you range rather than when you just go in one straight line like this. 15-minute close bearish, almost underneath the range, right at it. You know, that's just terrible news. This thing can play both ways. This 15-minute can rip down, break this trend line finally. Boom, boom. The sells would have worked out amazingly. Or this 15-minute can just bounce, rip right back up, break through these highs, and just get out of there. Exactly kind of like what this one did. No top wick, drop down. This one broke the lows. This one hasn't broke the lows yet. But then it came up, closed above. Once it closed above, it then started going up. So what you want, if I was still in the sales from earlier, I would definitely need this 15 minutes to flip bearish and hold it. So this 30 minute, even though this 30 minute don't have no top wick, which makes this candle very ugly, it would be good enough for the next 30 minutes to come down. But then I just feel like since this thing don't got no top wick, that this next 30 minute, regardless if it's bearish or not, it could potentially come up and break these highs. And if that is the case, then we have a whole nother plan for that I'll explain when we get there. But yeah, I'm gonna need this 15-minute candle close bearish, so this 30-minute can close bearish, and then I'll be potentially getting in some more sales at 9:30. Well, 30 minute has now flipped at the end. What it is? Oh, that's lame. I forgot that would probably happen. Well, we got exit out the other position at break even, so we're closing out this trade. I don't remember where we closed out. Anyway, both of the outcomes were basically the same. Would have both been break even. Now, hopefully, in 3 minutes here, it was just looking good. Hopefully, in 3 minutes here. Snap. Two things can play out here. All right, well, in 3 minutes here, on the higher time frame, 30 minute, in 3 minutes, if this thing closes bullish, that's the one sign I needed for us to get in some actual buys. And then we can try to retest these highs. You know, it's a nice 100-pointer. But I'm gonna need this thing to close bullish first because the hourly is bearish. Bearish but close bullish. But this 5 minute doesn't have a bottom wick, so that's kind of a problem. No bottom wick, as you see, is now flipping. Now, hopefully it flips, make one, and then get back up to the highs. But even if it closes at the highs and how we want it to, well, hopefully the market decides to come down at 9:30, make a bottom wick, and then we can get in buys for the flip. But if this 30 minute does actually close bearish, then we can actually get in the sales we were talking about, because now, as you've seen, the market decided to come up, create the top wick that we needed. Now the candle looks great. Now the hourly looks good. Now if we decide to fall, it will look pretty, and we can get in some sales. But yeah, I'm gonna need this thing to actually close bearish. This 15 minute, I'm gonna need it to close bearish. It did a great job giving us a top wick that we needed, and then getting back down to the lows. Now we just needed to close low, and we get it on some sales. This is a nice 5 minute closure. Whoa. It's trying our patience, ain't it? Ain't it? You don't want to close nicely in either direction. You don't want to close bullish, you don't want to close bearish. But if we do get in this trade in a couple of seconds here, our stops would either be above current 30 minute highs or these 30 minute highs. So it's going to be about 25 point stop. And we're looking at the bigger picture all the way down here. Potential 150, but probably just another 50 pointer right here. But I want this thing to give us a top wick. If it don't give us a top wick, then that's just that. Yesterday we got in without wanting a top wick, ended up working out yesterday. Today, at the moment, is working out again. So I mean, well, that trade's basically already done. That's why we gotta get a hang of putting our sell stops in before the candle closes, for this very reason right here, when it just decides not to give us a top wick. A quick little 36 pointer. But yeah, that was a perfect 5 minute closure. That was a nice 5 minute. Broke through the trend, held it, pushed up, retested, closed bearish. I was a couple of seconds too late in putting my sell stops in right there underneath this 5 minute lows right here. But So if we were in on this trade, stops above these highs, 26, 28 points. We have kind of already pushed down enough that you can really just move stops to above current 30 highs and make it a 10-point stop and really just let this thing run. It's already pushing very nicely. Only way we can get in on this trade if this next 5 minute gives us a top wick. If this 5 minute closes bearish somewhere, the next one gives us a top wick, and then we can get it on the next 5 minute. That's the only way we can get it on this trade. So right now we're getting the bearish closure. Now we just need the next 5 minutes to give us a top wick better than what this 30 minute just did to us. But yeah. Well, it ended up being an amazing trade, but missed opportunities. But luckily for us, it's only 9:30. We got a whole another about 6 hours of this. I'm probably just gonna chill. And since I'm already taking what 3 trades today, 1 loser, 2 winners, and the market hasn't just now opened, we're already up 3 trades. I'm probably just gonna wait for a 30-minute setup. There's no reason to look at the 5 minute and try to catch a 5 minute setup. 15 minute you can get faked out on it, so 30 minutes is really all we got. So in 24 minutes, depending on where this 30 minute closes bearish, we can potentially just get in on the next 30 down, the 10 o'clock, the next hourly candle down. So basically it's an hourly 30-minute trade, and we can catch whatever is left of the move to the downside. So we got 24 minutes to burn before we can potentially get in on another trade. 5 minute might be closing nicely enough for us to put, never mind. If this thing does close bearish, but it's on a 15-minute time frame /5, so I don't like it. But if this thing did have closed bearish, this thing is bullish now. It closed bullish. This thing should push up. This 30-minute doesn't have a top wick. It might just come up, give it one just like it did the last 30 minutes and drop. So that's why I'm waiting 15 minutes, trying to wait 15 minutes here to the 10 o'clock closes, opens. Hopefully the 10 o'clock candle gives us the top wick, because we also have news coming out at 10 a.m. It's an orange and yellow folder. It really shouldn't do much to the market. So hopefully we get a nice closure inside this range. This 15 minute, I don't really know how I want it to close, but I do want this 30 minute to close nicely down here. And then I want news to come out and give us a top wick that breaks through these highs, or at least comes up nicely. And then we can get in on some sales for the downside continuation. But we do gotta wait 14 minutes. I don't know how this 15 minutes is gonna play out. This 15 minute really could ruin everything. It could push down without us. It could push up too high that it actually turned the candle bullish and we actually be looking for buys. Because on SPY right here, they're at the top of their zone, but in 15 minutes here, I mean, it's looking like they might be able to break through. And if they do break through the highs, then that's potentially some buying opportunities. Targeting up here. So if they're on buying opportunities, then that's very bad for NQ, since we're trying to sell NQ. If ES starts to buy, then NQ is going to trickle up too. So I would definitely want this. If we get in buys, I'm gonna need this 30 minute to actually close bullish. Otherwise I'll be looking for sales on NQ, but I'll still be considering some buys on ES. But I'm gonna first need ES to close above. If it closes under it, then I'm getting sales. If it closes under, I'm getting sales. But it depends on how it closes. Unfortunately, this 5 minute did not close exactly how I wanted it to. I wanted it to close bearish right here, but the next 5 minute ended up still playing out how I was expecting it to. Now you could have still got in it because the 15 minute was still bearish. This is a bearish 15, and as you see, we got the drop. And that's a nice 60 pointer right there. And so it wasn't really a missed opportunity because it didn't close how we wanted to, and we tried not to trade on the 15, so it wasn't really our trade, but it was something. This other trade right here, now this one was a missed opportunity. But if this 5 minute flips, that's a bearish thing. It could then crumble down, but I don't. It is breaking trend. It did retest. Now it's breaking the lows. This 5 minute broke all the lows, closed underneath. You could really potentially get in on some sales to fill the range, but we're very late to the entries. We could just wait 8 minutes for news to come out because it's probably not going to push all the way down here before news. News is about to come out here in 1 minute. I don't expect much from it, but I don't follow news, so it actually could be bigger than I expect. But nothing really playing out how we want it to. Let's just start from the top down. Hourly is about to close bullish, but if it flips here, it's going to close weak bearish. So, I mean, it kind of works out because I'm looking for sales on SPY because we're maintained underneath this resistance. We maintain underneath. So, bias towards the sell side simply because we're underneath. But this hourly is about to close bullish. So it still has potential to push out of here. It has potential to keep going. 30-minute, 15-minute close bearish. So it's kind of, so we just gotta wait for news to come out in about 10 seconds here, and then we're gonna have a nice top wick. NQ on the other hand, they actually closed how we wanted it to. If this thing give us a nice top wick that breaks through these highs without giving us a bottom wick, or at least not a oh my lord. Yeah, see, that's a nasty bottom wick. That thing gapped down before it even opened up. It gapped down. So I wanted it to push up, and then we could take the sales down. But for some reason, the first order that hit the market was all the way down here. So that just made the candle look so ugly. But we'll see if it's actually a bullish move. But it is giving us the push up. If this thing could push and break the highs, then I'll still put my sell stops probably still right here. I don't know. We gotta see how SPY is doing, because SPY, if they break through this high and they continue to just run, then we can't take sales on NQ. But if SPY gives up also, that's good. So 30-minute highs are broken. Hourly highs aren't broken, so that's good. We don't want it to break those type of highs. On NQ, they broke the highs. How much of a stop is this? Yeah, see, that's kind of a big stop. 40 points. 40 points. Hourly's in our favor. 30 minutes in our favor. We broke the high we wanted to. We got the pull back into the trend line. We did not break these highs, which is even better. About a 40-point stop. Potentially to come back and reclaim these lows. But this was a nice bounce play. Like how these hourlies right here, I didn't really realize it, but these hourlies, I'm putting my sell stops though. I'm gonna put them in case we do crumble while I explain the other thing. But yeah, right now ES is still pushing, but as long as NQ does not really break these highs, then we should be golden. I'm gonna put some sell stops there. I'm gonna put stops above the highs. I'm just gonna make it a flat out 50-pointer stop. Big potentials on this trade. But what was nice, these hourly right here at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, this one didn't leave a bottom wick, this one didn't open up with a bottom wick, and it pushed out of here. And what did you see the market do? It got a nice push, but the market ended up trickling all the way back down just to give it a bottom wick right there. And now, is that enough? Was that enough bullish pressure for the market to change directions completely and start to push higher? Or are we going to simply reflip on this and break these lows again? So we're about to get entered there on this trade in a second. We probably could have had early entries. I wasn't really watching on the 1 minute, but we could have had early entries on the 1 minute right here. Could have got in right here. But I just take 20 points off the stop loss and put it into profits. But if this 1 minute breaks these lows again, we're going to be in the trade. in the trade now, but I hate how this 1 minute just opened up. We're in the trade now, but this 1 minute kind of annoys me. We need this to crumble, and we need this 1 minute to just open up. This is an ugly 1 minute. This thing can flip here and grind higher, so we actually need it to continue to do what it's doing right now and have a violent drop. Hold down here, and then we'll be looking good again, promising again. But this is an hourly trade, really, so we really gonna be in this for hopefully 40 minutes. That'd be nice. It'd be very nice if we can break these lows for once. But see, they're coming right down to their support. We need these spies to not hold this support. We need this 5 minute to flip. The 5 minute came into their support too. We're still in the danger zone here, but we're looking good. Once this 5 minute can break maybe these lows down here, or once it gets down here, I'm gonna move my stops to break even. So we was risking 50 points on this trade, but once we get down here, the market really should not reflip. If it does, that's not really great news. Actually, I might be closing out profits in a minute. You know, we love our scalps. We'll see if this 1 minute can flush down, that'd be great, but I might be taking profits out soon. If it can flush, I hold, but if it doesn't, I'll take. And I'm gonna stop and profits now. I'm moving in 50 points, so regardless of what happens now, we're making 50 points on the trade. That's an amazing trade. A nice little first base hitter. It has a lot of potential to keep running, but you know us. Alright, we're at that trade. Nice little 3 minute scalp. It has bigger potentials, but it's news trade. The markets are very volatile. I didn't realize. Yeah. I mean, we came right down to support. It was a good target. I mean, these supports had shown we held already, so are we going to break through it right now? Or are we going to hold? If we break through it, then it would be unfortunate we did not hold the trade because we're going to miss out on a lot of profits. But if it holds, then we turned out to have an amazing exit plan because it's going to then push off of this or chop around here for a minute, and we don't really want to be in chop. We like our little 3 minute profit taking trades. Yeah, it was a nice little W trade. All right, we're just gonna wait for the next setup. In 22 minutes here, if this candle closes bearish, we can actually trade ES today because they're actually looking kind of nicer than usual. But if this thing turns bearish, if it closes bearish but not too bearish, then we'll just get in some sales again. Or maybe we could jump down to the 5 minute. If the first 5 minute that closes below here, we can get it on the next 5 minute after that one. So in 2 minutes here, if this 5 minute closes below, we might get in. We can just re-enter on the trade. We're also at 1, 2, 3, 4 trades on the day. one loser, three winners now. So I'm actually gonna let this trade pass. Whatever happens now, probably for the next 2 hours, I'm not gonna really do nothing with it. There are plenty of setups that will come throughout the day. Yesterday we had setups at 12 o'clock, nice setups at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So we have a while until the market closes. We have 4 more hours. 4 more hours. We can catch another trade then. But I'm gonna go on break now. I'm gonna go for a walk or something. As I say that, we then get a nice closure. So on the demo account, I'm actually going to enter in on this trade, but my live account, I'm not entering on this trade. Demo account, I'm going to take it because it closed how we wanted it to. First 5 minute close below the range. We're going to have sell stops in. It's giving us a nice top wick. My sell stops, I'm just going to put it right up here. Yeah, see, that's a, what is this? Bracket orders. From this high to this high, that's 60 points. That's not great. We don't want a 60 pointer move. So I'm just gonna put it. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna leave it right there since it's a demo account. It doesn't really matter. And if this thing just does decide to flip, it would be good. But that's it. I'm just gonna let them play out. I did try this trade down here. I liked it out of 15-minute with bearish underneath the trend line. I felt continuation, but then I failed to remember that we had support right here that we closed above. And as you see, the support held. It didn't matter. The 15-minute closed bearish. It did not break the lows, so we ended up taking a loser on that one. But now two things are kind of happening. This can either be the push for the day, well, not for the day, but like we can be in strong buys. Yeah, we got one bullish candle here, but we could get another one, especially when ES has now broken their highs. They broken their highs, but they came almost up to resistance already. You can still take buys on them. I still like it. I still like the buys, but on NQ it's kind of looking like buys, but at the same time it's looking like it retested these highs, retested this trend line to now come down. That's what it's looking like. So it's looking bullish, but it's feeling bearish, at least for the NQ. I would have wanted to get in. I want to get in on sales, but they're giving out mixed signals, and now that it's already dropping to the downside, so we already missed the entries, unfortunately. But there could be a blessing in disguise, because this thing actually could just be bullish, actually. But it gave us a little top wick, tiny top wick at that. But for a 5-minute setup, that's kind of nice. You got 5 minutes, hit the trend line, close bearish, and then now you can get a drop down. Maybe this pullback is what we finally needed for us to break through these lows. I don't like to do it. You could potentially put in sell stops right here, but that is so far away from these actual good. That's 80 points away. That's terrible entry. We're very late to the trade, but that's only if you feel that the volume, which I do, that the volume is just going to give us a straight push down. So if this thing decides to break through these lows right here, I feel we definitely want to just crush through. So you could, since you missed out on those entries, get in on some sell stops down here. Hopefully this 5-minute does not break these lows, then I won't get in on it. But if the next 5-minute, if this 5-minute closes up in 3 minutes and the next 5 minutes breaks it, then I will get in. But right now I ain't getting in. ES had the same setup. Theirs worked out amazingly. $1.50 move on ES. NQ gave a nice 60 pointer. But now we're about to break the lows. We got in sales earlier right here. It looks like we was early to the sales. Now it's back down here. This could be the time that the sales come into play, or this could just be a bottom wick for the 30 minutes that we could flip back up, or the hourly just wanted a better top wick. Yeah, it broke the eye just by a little bit, and now it's crushing down. That's very bearish. I gotta get a hang of putting these sell stops in before the candle closes, because that's 2 trades we missed out on today that we didn't put the sell stops in case the market does not give us a nice top wick. We gotta get better at that. But we got some downside potential. The market was just up 1%. They was evened out. Now NQ crushed to only up 0.4%. SPY's up 0.6 still. But that means we have a good amount of room to the downside today. We've been sitting in this range all morning. Will we continue off Friday, or will we break through? Now we missed out on the NQ trade, but if the market's bearish, then we can just jump in on the ES trade, because they have a nice range to fill. NQ on the other hand, they have nice potentials, but not really a nice range. They have nice potentials, but not a nice range. Or this thing could just be coming down here to fake us out again, make us take another loser on the same trade we just took a loser on. So, I don't know, I think I want to take ES. I haven't taken ES in a while, but I think it just looks better. But which one is more volatile? Which one will give us the cleaner move? We're going to need a top wick first, at least. We're not gonna give it a top wick, and that's just that. But yeah, see, they broke through the lows now. Let's see if the sell stops would have played out. Or will we bounce off this support again? So it would have put us in the trade. Now we're sitting in drawdown. Not nothing crazy. I am liking this ES. I'm glad we are pushing up, giving us a top wick, because I still like ES. How much is it? $40 stop potential. Wait. I'm gonna put sell stars, breaker lows. Starts to be above the 55 highs. Hoping this 5 flips for us. I might actually move it to the 5-minute flip. How much of a difference is that anyway? A 2-point difference. Stops are already 7.5. It'll turn into a 5.5. Yeah, I'm gonna move stops into the flip. A little bit more risky that it's not breaking the lows, but with this 5-minute flips, very bearish. We can just get us to push down. We're in on that trade now. Now it's just playing, seeing if it plays out. But we are in a danger zone. I gotta admit, we do have this support. This could be quick losses since this is why I stay off the 5-minute. But if we are very bearish, then we should get a drop. We already got a nice push up, broke the highs, failed to hold, immediately gave it all up. Now let's see if we can break the lows. The buyers wasn't rewarded. Let's see if the sellers can get rewarded. Well, the 5-minute ended up flipping and putting us in the trade, but it didn't actually close bearish. Terrible news for us. Terrible news. Terrible news. Because now this 5-minute can flip, break through these highs, and we're probably going to stop. So we need this 5-minute to fold. I don't want it to follow trend. I need it to fold. I might just close out and take a small loser on this trade, but we'll see. We have potential still. The minute time frame is at least looking decent for us. Well, it was. It's now flipping. If it breaks these highs, it's gonna be bad news. Market's just in a tight range today. This is normally what I like seeing, but it looks like we're playing it at the wrong time. We got in sells at the bottom of the range. When we're ranging, we should have just got in buys, and now we get the bounce. But we're in sells now. This thing's about to hit stops. So the stops was hit on D. Unfortunate. We're buying at the bottom of the ranges. I mean, we're selling at bottom and we're buying at tops. It's not good. Not good. But for that reason right there, that's why I stay off the 5 minute, because the 5 minute closed below, so it was good sales. But 5 minute, well, we did already miss on this big 5 minute drop, so maybe we just needed a pullback. We're getting a pullback now. We'll see. We were late to the entries, but this is what I'm talking about. We selling at the top of ranges. We should have been selling. Well, actually, this one wasn't really here. This one actually broke above, but once we got this 5 closure right here, those are some easy sales. The only problem, we couldn't get in on those sales because it just happened way too fast. Way too fast for us. And then while I was in sales down here thinking we still dropping, the market then set up bullish. There's a bullish closure back in, almost back inside the range, and then the next candle pushes higher, exactly what the previous told us. So that's 2 trades in a 15-minute candle right there. We missed both and we caught a loser instead.